Alright, hello everyone, welcome back. If you're on YouTube, thanks for coming back. If you're on, hey Mika, and hi Icebird. Icebird is all, oh my good, look at all that traffic we got going on over there. That is amazing. Here we are here at Austria, Vienna, Austria, tomorrow morning, and look at that traffic here. It's about 8, well, I think about 8 o'clock in the morning. And we got some serious traffic going on to runway 16. Yeah, very full airport. Didn't seem as full when we came and landed in the afternoon, but we also parked over there. But AIG traffic is definitely loaded in. We got some EasyJet. We got British Airways, Austrian Airways, Aoria, Level. A lot of airways here and a lot of traffic and planes spinning around trying to get on. We got an Ethiopian over there in the queue. Hopefully maybe by the time we get out there, there won't be anyone left to take off, but there are a lot of planes here in Vienna right now. Hey Sean, yeah, I'll let you know you weren't here on the earlier flight. I'll kind of fill you in on why I've been missing for the last month, but we'll try to keep it quick. We're back in the Airbus A320. I don't know why the jetway just went away. And we're going to be flying. Let me just kind of get my description so I get the airports and everything we're going to. This is World Tour Leg 154. We're at Vienna International Airport in Vienna, Austria. And we're going to be flying to St. Gallen, Altenrhein Airport in Altenrhein, St. Gallen, Switzerland. That's going to be basically so we can set up and do like a helicopter or a small plane, something flight down to Liechtenstein, probably helicopter because there are no airports in Liechtenstein, so where will I land? I kind of tried looking for some patch of ground where I could land a small plane and just in a field, but not much there, but we'll see. I'd rather fly a small plane than the helicopter, to be honest. This is a real-life flight, People's, Vienna, it used to be People's Vienna line, it's People's now, I think they just got rid of the Vienna line, or I don't know. It's flight 101. It's usually flown on the Embraer 170, but we'll be using the Flybywire A32NX Airbus A320neo back in the Airbus. Did you say ah? Ah. Yep, Austrian Airlines, yep. And, well, I think I flew Austrian Airlines. I don't even know how many flights back now, but we definitely have flown Austrian. We've flown Czech. And today we're flying People's. We're back in the Airbus, in the fly-by-wire, not the Phoenix. I'm going free here. I spent my money on the PMDG. Great plane to fly, still need to learn it. The PMDG is a lot more advanced than the Zibo, and it's been a long time since I've flown back in X-Plane, the Boeing, and it's been a long time since I've just flown in Flight Simulator here in a month. So we'll see how quickly the Airbus comes back because I've flown it a ton, obviously, here in Flight Simulator. So I think we're good to go. Yeah, but just looking around the airport, we got a lot of planes. That's Alpha Indy Group traffic, AI. These are all AI planes, not real life or real-time schedule or anything. They do some weird stuff when they're waiting in line. They kind of spin around in circles. You can see the Zero Wings doing that, Ethiopian there. But they do eventually take off if they don't disappear. But we got quite a few planes. We do a lot of plane spotting. Got some Wizz Air behind us. But that's not what we're here to do. If you want me to just do a stream where we just plane spot on VathSim or plane spot with AIG traffic, we can always do that. But we're going to get inside the plane and do this. Well, a lot of ground equipment here, and a few extra pieces of ground equipment that, well, that the fly-by-wires gave us, including this amazing traffic cone. That was a huge thing they added. But joking aside, they did add quite a few. There are some. It's been a month since I've flown this plane, or over a month since I've flown this plane, so I don't even know. They do have the new EFB updated. A little hard to see. I'm not sure if I can turn the brightness up. But you can see I can import your SimBrief data. It's a little bit of a different screen than it used to be. It even has the route here like that. You can pin your charts. You were always able to go on your charts, but now I've got that set up. A nice display for your metadata. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's anything really new. I think the failure page is new. We can do some failure. Checklist is kind of a nice checklist. So we'll probably use that. I think presets. I'm not sure how much has really changed or if it's all kind of the same, but slightly, just slightly tweaked in here and there. Yeah, I've had that issue at some of the airports where like this part of the jetway is missing. You have this part, maybe the one end on there, and then it's missing. Yeah, not sure what is causing that. I do know we have a massive. You can actually see it looks like there's a terrain issue right here, but that might just be drainage. But I know Dublin, when I loaded it in Dublin yesterday to take a screenshot, never actually did the screenshot, but loaded in, and I noticed there was some massive terrain issues in the apron, so that's going to be pretty interesting. And it's not an issue with a downloaded airport because there are no freeware downloads for that airport. Anyway, let's get going on this. I'm going to get my checklist out and try to go through this as quickly as possible and with a nice flow like I used to have. So parking brake is on. Wipers are in the off position. Spoilers are retracted. That's me right there. Engine masters are off. Mode selector normal. Thrust levers idle. Still have the indents programmed, so that's good. Flaps are retracted. Go here. Go in this position. Flaps are retracted. Anti-skid on. It's me right there. Landing gear is down. And fuel quantity, we will check that once we have everything on, and we'll probably call over the fuel truck. So let's go up here. Turn on the battery masters, 1 and 2. Cool sound effects, as always. We do have external power. I don't know if I actually have it connected. Let's go in here. Just make sure stuff is connected. But we can click on this. Is it going to do it? There we go. We can also call over the baggage truck. Catering truck if we want to. That'll automatically open those doors. You can see these doors are open. It'll tell us. We have wheel chocks and the safety cone. Jet bridge. I think I have to click it again. Not sure what's going on with it. I think my jet bridge is broken. Why is the jet bridge not working? Man. Well, that's not working for now, but we'll come back to that. So, we do have the battery on. We do have external power, so let's turn that on. Strobe lights. Up here, make it easy. Strobe lights set to auto. I have to remember where these things are, because on the Boeing is obviously very different. This plane, it's not as much going on. It's a very clean plane compared to a Boeing. And going back to the Boeing and now coming back to this, it's like you can really tell the difference. And when I first came to this plane from X-Plane and having flown the Boeing 737 over there all the time, and then coming to this, it was kind of like, oh, what do I do? And now that I know this, it's going back to the Boeing and, what do I do? Because it's been so long. Nav for the ADIRs, 1, 2, and 3. APU and engine fire test. There we go. We do get a little message. You can see that it just went away. I'll do it one more time and I'll kind of jump down there. You see that message? Letting you know that, all the things that will pop up if you actually had an engine issue. Instruments and display brightness, already did that before even turned the plane on. We'll get the first officers turned up as well, just so it's not a big shadow world over here. Seatbelt signs on. How do I go up here? Put the seatbelt signs on. No smoking. Auto. Actually, turn these off because we're going to be putting fuel on. Auto. Emergency lights armed. And we're going to go over to fuel right now. Okay, jet bridge is there. It's not connected, so I don't know what's going on with that. For some reason, this stuff just went away. See the fuel truck. Now this is what's different because... Oh, okay, here's fuel. Oh, fuel. I want to put... I think I can write it. There we go. Fuel, we need 5676, so we'll just go with an even 6,000. I don't know what this is. Fill block fuel from SimBrief. Oh, cool. We'll just do that automatically. Of course, you want to add a little bit more. We're going to go 5,900. 5,900. And... real? What's fuel? Yep, right there. But I watched some other people do... I watched a real pilot do it, and it's like he took that SimBrief number, and they usually round it up, like a couple hundred, just to be on the safe side. And, you know, when you turn on the APU, you're going to burn fuel. And I mean, really, I've never had a flight where I've ever been close on fuel. But that's what I saw him do. I think it was on the Boeing 737 tutorials where he did that. So I started doing that, just kind of rounding it off. So we got fuel coming on. Just looking at what else I want to do. Predicted wind shear, we can put that on right now. Cockpit door lock later. Let's turn up the brightness over here. Now I'm wondering, are these two separate yet? Nope, they aren't. Unfortunately. So that's how you can tell the difference between the Phoenix. One of the ways you can tell the difference between the Phoenix and Flybywire is that these are actually separate, two separate computers, or you can independently do the screens, obviously, on the Phoenix and in real life. Not a big deal. We've done it forever that way. The Aerosoft A330. No, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I know I saw a blurb about the INI builds doing the 310 for freeware. So I'm all about freeware. I'm not really interested in buying too many more planes. Part of me wants to, if I do want to get another plane, I kind of want to get like a larger Boeing, like a Boeing. What would it be? What is it? The 757 or something like that, 767, whatever, something like that. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to be buying anything more in the near future. What's in there? Bourbon? Oh, in my water? No, it's just water. I'm boring. All right. I want to put the passengers on, and I forget how to do all this stuff. It's been so long since I've done it in here. And doing everything. Weights and balances. That's what we want. So total passengers. Let's send that request. There it is. I don't know why the payload. Okay, payloads has to be loaded on. And let's start boarding. I'm also going to get Pack X going. Actually, can I? Okay, we don't need that. Go away. I feel like that boarding's going a little fast. Where do the settings go? There it is. Realism. Let's do real. Pocket, no. I don't know what this means. I kind of want to turn it on, though. I don't know. ATS. automatically import sim brief data. Guess we'll do that. See what that does. Alright, so they're going to come on a little bit more realistic speed. I'm going to set up my Pack X so I can track this flight through that. Flight's just going to be about an hour. A320neo, we have 174 passengers. And we'll give this plane Wi-Fi. Alright, so into the MCDU we go. Which one is 5? Trying to remember all things. Go init and our alternate. Let's bring this up for you guys so you can follow along on the flight plan as I do it. Alternate is, I believe, Munich. Flight number 101. Cost index of 5. Cruising altitude, flight level 340, 34,000 feet. I've done this. Oh no, I didn't do this. There is a page where I do the wind and temp. I'm not going to do it there. Ground temperature. Don't really have to do that. That's page 2, which we'll do later. I think from here we just go to the flight plan. We'll do init page 2 later once we're loaded. Let's put the departure in right away. Runway 16, which is what we should have landed earlier. SID is going to be Sovi 2 Bravo. Insert. Alright, so that's going to take us all the way to Soville. And then from Soville, we're going direct to Sydney. From Sydney, we're going Bagsy. Direct to Matig. And then to Tron. That is not what I want to do. Tron. And from Tron, we're going to go on an airway. So click on Tron, click on Airways, via Lima 856. We're going to take that to the VOR Kilo Papa Tango. If it ever loads in. There we go. And that's it. And then we're going to have our arrival. Click on Lima Sierra Zulu Romeo, arrival, runway. We're going to do ILS 10. And the star is going to be Kilo Papa Tango 3 Hotel. And that's the approach via probably Seator. Yep. Insert. Alright, so we got the entire flight plan in. If we need to change anything, we'll do that when we get to that point. Alright, flight plan, radio navigation page. You got the ILS, but that's the ILS I believe for right here. But that will change once we get up in the air, when we get closer to St. Gallen. Same with the VOR, we'll put that stuff in as we're approaching. Go to init page 2, performance page. Both of those once we are loaded. So we can go to the MCDU menu, check where we're at. Okay. As we're waiting, I'm going to pop open. I could close this. Let thing go away. Open up SimSmart A320 Calculator.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items.
Oh, that's showing the wrong calculator.
Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items.
There we go. That was showing the Boeing calculator. All right. So our code is Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey.
Carry-on items in the overhead bin and it is full. Make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers.
Taking a while to get this data. Take it off runway 16. It's going to fill that all in, the runway length, the slope downhill. We can also automatically get the metadata. Wind's kind of shifted a little bit. It was at 160 as I was coming in earlier.
If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once you depart.
Okay, I guess I have to put that in first before I can do my center of gravity. Okay, fine. So we're gonna wait on that. While we're waiting for that, let's get the pressure put in. 1011. See, FCU altitude is our initial altitude. We haven't called for that. Let's actually do our ATC request. And of course, again, ATC is broken. I know I have some people on here that are saying, get this, do VATSIM. VATSIM right now, I need to set it up. And I just need to have the time to, like, no matter when I'm streaming, I feel like I'm constantly getting pulled in 15 directions. There's any moment I'm gonna have to pull the plug on the flight, it seems. So VATSIM's a little, I mean, I know you can, but.
Dean Ground Peoples 101 request taxi for straight out departure with Echo.
Yep, in real life it's an Embraer 170.
Peoples 101 taxi to and hold short of runway 16 via taxiway Whiskey Echo X-ray 2 tree Echo Echo X-ray tree Delta Bravo 1. Contact tower on 12 tree decimal 8 when ready.
Alright.
Taxi to and hold short runway 16 using taxiway Whiskey Echo X-ray 2 tree Echo Echo X-ray tree Delta Bravo 1 Peoples 101.
Okay. See, we're at the north here. I'm not sure what gate, you know, maybe Foxtrot 17 or something. So we're going to kind of back out. We're going to get on a Tango Lima 36. They didn't say that. But we're going to take that all the way over to Whiskey and then go turn left to exit 23. That's going to take us to Echo. We're then going to take Echo up. And if I'm right about where Echo is, take Echo down to... Looks like we're going to take it... No, we should probably take that up. Yeah, we're going to jump on Echo and then right away exit 33, get on Delta, and then Bravo 1 to the end of 16. So, easy taxi. Yep, ATC is broken about 70% of the time. There's that rare time where they'll give you the clearance to land, like what runway, what approach, when you're still at like 20,000 feet. But the majority of the time they'll give you that clearance as you're already on your short final or something. It's just like, sorry, not, you know, I did it on the last one. I completely turned around and went to the runway they wanted me to go to, but I should have just ignored them because it didn't really make sense. Okay, I think we can tune to the tower or whatever. All right, passengers are still coming on board. Did they give us initial? They didn't give us initial climb, so I'm just gonna put in. For now, I'll put in 18,000. Alignment. We are aligned for the IRS. EFIS is ARC and 10 nautical miles. Yep. Flight directors both on.
Welcome aboard flight 101 with service to Switzerland. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 10 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin
We're going to get the APU going. So APU master switch on. And wait for the flap to be available. Flap open. Start the APU. Crew oxygen supply on. Fuel pumps on. Air conditioning on. Who says that? I'm not sure where I do the air conditioning. Totally forgot about that. I don't think there's anything I actually have to do for that. Yeah, this thing actually doesn't have... My checklist actually doesn't have anything about the turning on the APU bleed. Which is strange. But that does turn on the air conditioning, basically. If I wanted, I could turn it off. I could turn it on. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to go over here, just go pop into the checklist. Alright, gear pins, fuel quantity, seatbelts on. We can do that. Make sure seatbelts are on. Seatbelts on, adheres, nav, bearer reference. Alright. Before start, parking brake. Takeoff speeds and thrust, not yet. Windows closed. Yeah, those are closed. Beacon is on. Alright. So, still need to do our in here. Back to init page 2. Get our zero fuel weight and center of gravity. Fuel planning. On board, though, we actually have 5.9 thousand. Oops. Yeah, I just turned it on. I turned on crew supply. I'll double check that again. Takeoff weight 66.5. So we'll bring back up the performance calculator. And okay, that's weird. There we go. 66 point, what did I say? 0.5. Our center of gravity is 23, so it is less than 27% forward. Flex takeoff, climb, thrust, climb, conf 1 plus F. Air conditioning, we'll keep that on. Calculate. And there's all the information we need. So we can actually even put as I like to put in this trip headwind, or this wind. Our wind is minus 16, so that means we have a tailwind, I believe. Put that in. We'll say tail. Nope, headwind. And that's going to change our fuel a little bit and trip time. Everything else stays the same. Go to performance page, our V1. Okay, so it's not going to let me... Sometimes it'll let me just automatically put it in. Other times, this is why I got this calculator. We actually have to manually put it in. You see our V1 and our V2 rotate speed are the same. And our V2 is 152. So I believe the V1... Yeah, V1 is like the safe speed you can, the highest speed you can go and still be able to abort the takeoff on the runway. It happens to be the same as our rotate speed. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. Thrust reduction 1597. And the engine out 1597. Flex takeoff temperature is 65 degrees. Flaps 1 for takeoff. Alright. Next phase. I don't usually change anything in here. Approach, we'll get to that once we're in the air. Okay. So we are good. Let's go down and lock the cockpit door. Go up top, we can turn off the external power. Get in here. Where is it? Oh, services. Fuel truck, we don't need that. Ground power unit, don't need that. We can remove the safety cones and the wheel chocks. Parking brake set. Parking brake set. How do I remove those? Okay, push back. Let me turn off this other thing I'm using. Alright, here we go. Confirm. Call tug. Alright, tug is coming in. I wonder if there's a way to, it'd be cool if there's a way to pre-plan in here. Alright, first time trying this, so tug is already pushing. Turn off the parking brake. That is way too fast. Me? Oh, that seems like it's speeding it up more. Slow down. Oh, okay, I see. I see what's going on there. Basically telling it forward or back. Alright, so we have the APU on. Beacon light is on. I want to go to my checklist. Beacon after start. Okay.
Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you.
What am I doing?
We need to evacuate the aircraft.
What am I doing? Alright, engine mode selector, start. So we're down here. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this one right here. And I believe we do. There you go, engine 2 on.
Tighten the straps if necessary and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Leave your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. And a fashionable life vest. Under your seat or... the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflating. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened in seatbacks and traces.
Yeah. Not too much at the runway now. Oh, you can even adjust how tight it does it. Nice. Alright, parking brake on. Tug disconnected. And starting engine 1. Alright, checklist. Anti-ice, we don't need anti-ice. ECAM status, checked. Pitch trim. Alright, what do we need for pitch trim? Where did I... Yeah, let's get that. Yep, you can tow now. Yeah, I have pushback helper where I can tow also. It's a little bit more easy to use than going back to this screen all the time. Rudder trim, neutral, alright. Taxi, flight control. Alright, we'll do that. Get our flaps to 1. Spoilers. Alright, we got the engines, so we're going to turn off the APU bleed and the APU master switch. We can turn on the taxi lights and the runway turn-off lights. Nav logo also on. Probe window heat, auto, spoilers armed, flaps takeoff position, transponders set. Anti-ice required, auto brake set. That's going to be right here. We'll put it on max. Nose light, taxi, runway turn-off lights on, parking brakes off, and the weather radar, which is inoperable, on. Start the chronometer. Takeoff config. Just gotta do a cabin check. And here we go. I think there's a setting. I think there's a setting in the settings page, and I believe it says, you know, make the PTU sound, and I think it says unrealistic next to it, but I think it's default. I don't think I turned it on. Okay, we could take a little tour of all the different planes. Lufthansa, I think that was the one that coming in when we were going out. Alright, turning on to whiskey. Yeah, like I said, all the traffic cleared up as soon as we were ready to go. And here's exit 23. Actually, I think we just keep going straight. Yeah. Whiskey actually goes off, so we didn't need to turn there. And now we'll be on Echo right here. And we're going to make a quick right onto exit 33 and then to Delta. So I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable in this plane. The Boeing is going to come back to me as I fly it more. There's definitely a lot of stuff I recognize, but of course I've flown this plane probably well over 100 times, not just on this world tour in Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it's the default plane. Just like I flew the 737 a ton in X-Plane because it's the default plane available there. Alright, so here's the runway. Come to a stop and get our clearance for takeoff. Set up all of our lights and all that goody stuff.
Theme Tower Peoples 101 ready for departing straight out at runway 16.
Peoples 101 QNH 29er.85, wind 135 at 12. Departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 16.
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 Peoples 101.
Alright, TCAS the Tara. Okay. Checklists are complete. Turn on our landing lights. Take off on the nose. Strobe lights on. Seatbelt signs are on. And we are ready to take the runway. Thanks for joining in. It's been a month since the last time I streamed, and longer than that since the last time I flew Flybywire's A320, because I've been flying PMDG's 737 a few times before. I know Sean was asking, or Sean mentioned, and Mika, they're just in for this flight. Yeah, I got sick midway, basically right after that last stream. I think I missed that next week of work. Every time I would wake up for work, I'd just get a fever, I'd be dizzy. I don't know if I had COVID or not. I've done a lot of the tests and didn't have anything, but wasn't feeling that great. A couple weeks ago went to day shift, so that's nice. Let's get up in the air and then we'll talk about that more. There we go. In the flex takeoff. Oops. There we go.
Dean Tower Austrian 507 at runway 16 ready for departure IFR to Malpensa. Austrian 507 line up and wait. Line up and wait, Austrian 507.
Positive rate, gear up.
Dean Tower SUNEX PRSS 19er ready for departure runway 16
Autopilot activated.
to Antalya. Sun Express 19er hold short runway 16. Traffic is EMB 195 on the runway. Austrian 507 QNH 29er.83 wind 125 at 14. Cleared for takeoff runway 16. Hold short runway 16 Sun Express 19er. Peoples 101 leading my airspace frequency change approved.
Main Tower Peoples 101 frequency.
Sorry about that.
Sun Express 19er line up and wait.
Yeah, you can see some planes lining up behind us as we were taking off.
Squawk Tree 005 Peoples
There's Vienna.
101. Roger Peoples 101. Veen approach Peoples 101. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace. Cleared through Charlie airspace Peoples 101.
I think I lost the other side. We're gonna get this IFR clearance.
1016 miles south of Vienna. Request IFR.
Once we get this done,
ready to copy.
we get to where I'll kind of fill you in on the last month, what's been going on, why I haven't been able to. I think it's the same way as saving shortcuts for your. I always love when I lose the text-to-speech. Same as saving shortcuts for your camera views in here. I believe it's Shift Control Alt and then the number. But
Vienna Center,
I,
Peoples 101
it's a little bit more advanced what you have to do in order to be able to get out of the cockpit and get to the back of the plane. And but I'm currently, when I go to this window view, this is actually the drone camera external view setup, where you go to, so here's your drone camera, here your free drone camera, and then you click end, and then you have a number of different cameras you can go to. If you do Shift A or just A, goes one direction, and Shift A goes the other direction. So these are all preset cameras that come with different planes. They'll have different presets, and then you can go back off of that insert key, take you right back to the cockpit. But you can also set cameras up like this and go like Alt 1. You can see how it kind of rotates. Now, to do it this way, where you're coming from the cockpit, it takes a little bit more work because you have to get out of the cockpit to set it up, and there's no way to do that unless you go into one of the INI files for this plane and tweak some numbers. So I don't use these as much anymore because you kind of swoop through. I tend to use the drone way now. Hey, we're 10,000 feet. We'll turn off the landing lights. And we'll turn off the seatbelts. And the cool thing with the Airbus, the Flybywire Airbus, and maybe the default Airbus, is that it does interact with PAC-X. You don't have to tell them that the seatbelt signs are off. They'll automatically trigger. But with the PMDG 737, I think the CRJ, the same thing. You gotta actually go in here and say the seatbelt signs off or on. I know. Did ATC give us anything? I know we're talking to ourselves, basically. Climb and maintain 14,000. Okay. We'll do that. Yeah, so the last month, so last time I streamed was May 19th, it's June 19th, so it's been a month. I got sick, so I really just had no chance. Hey, Hendrik. Just no, obviously being sick, it's like I can't really stream. So I was missing work, but then I'd be home at night, but I still couldn't do it. Okay, so to get to the drone, so this is, so let's go back to the cockpit. So you're in the cockpit. To go to your drone camera, you're gonna hit insert, your insert key. It's gonna take you to your free drone camera that you use with ADWS, and then your numpad to rotate. Yeah, so this is your free camera. Then if you hit end, it'll take you to fixed cameras. So from, you know, end, it'll take you to your drone. If you hit end, it'll take you to these fixed cameras, and then you can scroll through the fixed cameras, either Shift A or A. You know, one way, A goes one direction through the cameras, Shift A goes the other direction. I don't know of any shortcuts that just take you to a specific camera, unfortunately, via the keyboard, within this list of drone cameras, which kind of sucks. Nice view of the Alps, I believe, to our south. Uh-oh. No, 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 okay. I hate it when there's like a freeze up like that because you're just expecting the sim to crash, aren't you? Look out the other window. I think we're gonna look out this window for now because got the view of the mountains. But that's how you do it. And if you want to get, if you want to back out of this and go back to your drone camera, you hit end. If you want to stay on this camera, but you want to go back to your cockpit, just hit insert. And then insert again, you'll come back to this. If you want to get to your drone, end, and then you can hit insert and it'll take you back to the cockpit. You know. So basically your insert and end keys are going to do various things. It took me a while to get the hang of it because I'd be like, how do I get back to my cockpit? And I'd be hitting finally it would jump back. Now I know exactly how to do it. So from the cockpit, you hit insert, and you're either going to be in these cameras, and if you want to get out of the fixed camera, hit end. It'll take you to your drone. Back in end. Drone. Insert will take you back to your cockpit. Alright, we're at 14,000. We haven't gotten any clearance. We're gonna ask for that increase. I wish there was a way to increase by 20,000.
Vienna Center Peoples 101. Request flight level 240.
And unfortunately, we lost the decent voice.
Climb and maintain flight level 220. Expect flight level 240 Peoples 101.
And we're going to be cruising at 34,000.
101. Request flight level 340. Climb and maintain flight level 220. Expect flight level 340 Peoples 101.
Didn't they give us clearance to 240? Now would they only give us clearance to 22? Weird. Yeah, so I got sick. Basically, I don't know what it was, but I was getting fevers, just feeling just generally miserable. Might have been COVID, who knows. Awesome, Hendrik. Where are you right now? I thought you were... I feel like you're from the Netherlands, right? But... Alright, Sean. I guess I'll have to repeat the story, or I'll wait for Sean to come back. But, yeah, basically I was sick, and then... And then in the last 2 weeks, I've gone to day shift for my job, so that's been nice. Now I'm getting the sun, makes you more healthy. Obviously, getting that vitamin D and everything. Being on the right body clock. Oh, you're in the Philippines. That's right. Are you from the Netherlands, or are you from the Philippines? And then the past couple weeks I've been on day shift, and then when I get home I'm kind of tired, still adjusting, figuring out when I can stream, and then the baby, he's 5.5 months old now, and he's getting into crawling and rolling, so we got to be a lot more attentive to him. We can't just he's not just sleeping a lot as much anymore. What's going on with my stream here? Uh-oh. What happened? Alright, give me a second. Did I just lose a bunch of stuff on my overlay? Oh no. Oh wait. Okay, good. I gotta get live here. Yeah, what happened to my overlay? I think Benny overlay just kind of crashed on me here. And I'm gonna open that up again and see what's going on. God, what is going on here?
Maintain flight level 340 Peoples 101.
What just happened? I'm trying to figure out what happened to my stream. My overlay just died. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, Sean, so I was sick for like a week or two. Just kind of like, I thought it was just more like a cold, but I was getting some nasty fevers, and then I developed a cough, but so I basically missed a week of work, but then I started working the next week and just kind of struggled through it. And then I switched to day shift, and so that's nice now being on, you know, the regular clock and getting the sunlight and everything. But kind of adjusting to when we can stream and all that. And then, like I said, you know, Hendrik was here. You know, but the baby's getting more active now, so it's just trying to fit in where we're streaming. And then we're house hunting, so it's just been very busy. Any free time just seems to kind of disappear. But I was kind of like, I want to fly today. Yesterday I wanted to fly and it kind of disappeared. Friday night we went, you know, house hunting, and so like every time I have off, it seems I'm not getting exactly what I want to do. Okay, I have no idea why my overlays have disappeared. I'm guessing OBS Studio kind of crapped out a little bit. What is going on? Yeah, I'm guessing OBS just kind of crapped out because like my animated background's gone. My little, you know, showing the date and time, that thing up in the corner is gone. Bene overlaid, so all my like the flight data and progress bar is gone. So if you're just coming in as first time, or if you're wondering why my overlay is kind of just very bare and simple, it's because OBS something happened and it's kind of killed all that stuff. So really weird. I think it's just broken. It's kind of broken everything. You know, my little my chat bar on the bottom where your chats come in, that's missing now. So, well, I think after this flight, we're gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna have to completely just end the stream for everyone, YouTube and Twitch. And depending how late it is, it'll probably just be, this is probably the last flight of the night. By the time we get landed, I probably could sneak another one in, but it'll be nice to just kind of relax before I go to bed. Gotta hit the bed about 9 o'clock. So, at least the plane is still flying. Microsoft Flight Simulator is fine. Sorry about the stream overlay. I don't know what's going on there. I just decided to kind of crap out. Really weird. So it's kind of hard for me to... I can't just look on the... I gotta look in Volanta now to see what how much time we have left on the flight. Give you an update. Let's see, we got about 26 minutes. It's not a long flight. Right now we're gonna be coming up on Salzburg, probably 5 minutes. Salzburg, Austria. We're at 30,000 feet, crossing 30,000. So we got a little bit of taste of the Boeing 737, and it actually worked out that we had a number of flights that required it. Kind of popped up in a row. But now a bunch of flights that we're going to be flying are the A320 and I've been going through my planned flights and making sure that I didn't switch it from an A320, or if there is the option to fly the 737, I'm trying to switch over to that so we get a few more. Because we missed out on a lot of 737 flights on this world tour already, where we've been replacing them with the Airbus A320. So as we come up, anytime I get the chance to do the Boeing 737, I'll fly that flight, if of course we have the livery for it and everything. But there's gonna be a next handful of flights are gonna be in the Airbus, so that'll be kind of nice, just being something familiar and just fly and hang out. But I do want to get, obviously, into that Boeing. It's like, you spend $70 on a plane, you kind of want to fly it. And maybe the way that I'll do that, since the world tour, there's a lot of Airbuses, is we'll just maybe do a Southwest or something kind of ops series. Alright, so we have the approach, or we have the runway information and everything in there. I'm gonna go and grab the metadata, see if that's changed at all. Print it out. Just gonna wait here. Man, it was instant. Usually it took a little bit longer. Alright, print this out, then I can read it, put it in the performance page. Let's... Alright, here's our approach chart. Get our transition altitude 5,000 feet. And then we'll go over here, pull out the printed sheet, and we're looking at Lima Sierra Zulu Romeo, and we're looking at our... trying to see what the wind is here. So it's 190 degrees. And we got winds of 12 knots, gusts up to 26 knots. So I'll put 26. I kind of changed our approach speed. Wow, we're serving dinner. Do we have time for that? Alright, QNH is 1009, temperature 30 degrees. Wow, it is hot. Hot down St. Gallen. Luckily, it's right there near the lake. Alright, so we're going to put away this chart. Let's see, yeah, St. Gallen is... oh, what's going on? Okay. Oh, yeah, the airport is right on the lake, on Lake Constance. And the border between... well, actually, it's a border between Austria. The airport's right near the border of Austria and Switzerland, but we also, the lake is a border with Germany. So we're kind of at this, we're gonna be right at the, kind of the meeting of borders of three countries, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. So it should be a nice approach. Put away the chart, but looking at the minimums on the chart, it's just one set of minimums. It's 1,806 feet. That's 500 feet above the runway. So that's our minimums on our landing, where we have to decide if we're going to continue landing or if we're going to go around. Let's go into the radio nav page. Let me bring up the pad again to show you. There's that minimum, 1,806 feet. That means 500 feet above the runway, because the runway is 1306. You can see. ILS is 108.75. That's already in there. It's India Alpha Lima. You see it's right there. India Alpha Lima. Course 9797. If we do need to do a missed approach, we're going to climb straight ahead. This is a little concerning to me how this comes in here. We're going to climb straight ahead at 1.3 miles out, past the station at 1700, whichever is later, or 1700, whichever is later, turn left. And then minimum bank angle onto track 255 to intercept the localizer outbound. And then proceed, turn around, come back in. Alright, let's see. I believe we're capturing the glide slope at 5,000 feet. That's what that means. Yep. What was I looking for? I wanted to see if there was VOR. There is no VOR as a backup, so I'm not going to put a VOR as a backup.
Going to 120.65 Peoples 101. Munich Center Peoples 101 flight level 340.
Okay, what I should do, because we don't have VNav in this plane. I don't think so yet. Eventually they will. I believe in the experimental version of the A32NX they do have VNav. Bring up the nav graphs again. I'm going to look at the chart. That's okay. So we are coming... This is where we're coming from. At or above 6,000. Well, I'm just going to put in 5,000. That's what we need to be at to capture the glide slope. So what I'm going to do... Let's see, what do we have for waypoints? Alright, Sitor, we want to be at 5,000 feet. We do have a holding point there as well, if needed. So 5,000 feet at Sitor. What I'm going to do is go, and we can actually, we click on here, just click on the last, I don't think it works anywhere else. Hold, yeah. But if you want to, you just click on the top waypoint. Whatever top point is up there, it doesn't matter. But you click on this one. And this bar will come up, or this little thing, Fix Info. Go to Fix Info and put in your waypoint or whatever you want to fix on. We're going to do Sitor. And then we're going to figure out a radius. We're going to go over the calculator. We're going to sync our current altitude. Target altitude is 5,000, so it's going to say we should start our descent about 91 nautical miles. That's typically what it is. You want to start your descent probably 90 to 100 nautical miles. That seems to be the consistent place. Thanks for the follow, the Usher88. There should be an overlay should have popped, or a little graphic should have popped up. You heard the sound effect, or at least I did. My overlay, everything's kind of broken. I don't know, OBS kind of tanked here, so my little chat bar is missing. All my flight data is missing, my date and stuff, so. But thanks for the follow, the Usher. Hopefully, next time you're here, everything is working properly there, but you still get to see the flight. Hear my boring voice. So we're going to put the radius, I'm going to do 95. Just to give myself a little time. Once we get near that, that's when we're going to start descending. ATC might tell us to start descending, but we should not rely on the in-game ATC. Obviously, in real life, they will give you the clearance. VATSIM will give you the clearance when you can start descending to certain places. So it's weird, on this flight, my drone camera hasn't started tipping over. Typically, it does. Completely upside down.
Descend and maintain flight level 280 peoples 101.
Okay, so they already want us to descend well before we need to. But it's not the worst thing. So we'll do what ATC does and wants us to do, and we'll see what their plan is. Yeah, a little early, but mountains off to our left, south of us. Still over Austria. And just over probably 2/3 of the way on the trip. Oh no, I take that back. We're not over Austria anymore. We are in southern Germany, just south of Munich. Oh, south of us is that. Kind of get a view over here. Munich. Munich's gonna be somewhere over there. And that is our alternate for landing. We do have winds gusting up to 26 knots at St. Gallen, but I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, nothing I can do about that flickering. That's it's just an issue with the game engine. Well, if my overlays and everything hadn't broke, we could probably get in the next flight, which is going to be a helicopter or a small airplane flight down to Liechtenstein and back. But I'm guessing I'll probably save that for the next stream, and possibly stream sometime this week after work, and that'll be about 6:30, 7 o'clock, depending on how quickly I get ready for the stream. But I believe I have Thursday off next week, or this upcoming week here, and so I will try to stream Wednesday night after I get home from work. Maybe get that flight in. Hopefully, I'm not too worn out and falling asleep. But for sure on Thursday, try to get some streams in. Might be earlier. Could be 2 in the afternoon. Or 5 in the evening, stuff like that. Because now that I'm working days, on my days off, obviously I can stream more during the day. And possibly after work. But, you know, it's always an issue after work is that you have to get to bed for the next day. You know, 12-hour shift, you only have so much free time on your work days. And you're kind of tired. Streaming takes a little bit of energy. Alright, so we're looking pretty good on the descent. I mean, we're descending. We started descending well before our little radius there. And the lucky thing about flying this plane is that it's kind of second nature to me at this point. And I do hope I can get some more flight hours in the Boeing and pick that back up. Last flight took me a little bit of time to get everything set up. I think it wasn't too bad. I still need to figure out how to use the reversers on that plane. I can't figure out how to do that, or I think I know how to do it. Obviously, I could manually, pull the reversers, but I need to figure out how to set it up that I can have it a trigger or something like I do with the reversers on this plane. Which, as I'm thinking, I can't remember what my trigger is to do the reversers on this plane. Used to be my trigger button on my joystick, but I think I switched the trigger button on my joystick to be to trigger talking on VATSIM, because that's actually what the trigger is used on the flight stick. Not this button, but I don't even know what this. Oh, I can actually click that. I don't know what that does, but I believe in the front they have a trigger. Somewhere. Right there. And that's what they use to talk on the radio. At least as from what I've seen watching real life A320 videos. Maybe I'm completely wrong. It's just a coincidence that they're pushing the trigger at the same time they're talking. I could be completely wrong.
Descend and maintain 4,900 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 28 approach peoples 101.
Why? Why do they always do the opposite runway that I have planned? Okay, so 4,900 feet. That's why they're getting us down at this point. Because we're not going to runway 10. Because we're traveling west, we'd have to loop around and then come back, because 10 would be facing east. So we do have some restrictions. I'm gonna have to change. What is our metadata? Does that make sense? 190. Let me see. I need to put it in. I need to visualize it. Alright, so runway 10, 28. Yeah, it's basically across. Actually, 28 is slightly... You get a slight behind, so 10 would be the better runway. They're clearing us for the visual 28 though. Let me see if I can even do that. Can I even get that approach? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. I don't think they do 2.8 as a approach because I think elevation. We're gonna ignore ATC. We're just gonna go with the 10. Again, the in-game ATC does some silly stuff. I feel like runway 10 is the more used one. It has an ILS. It has the RNAV. 2.8 is clearly only visual. We'll just go in this way. If we were on VATSIM, if we were, if I was using, I'm going to be taking a serious look. Icebird was talking about pilot to ATC, which I've been looking at since I've been flying an X-plane. And I don't think I've ever pulled the trigger because I didn't know if it was really worth it. But it's an AI ATC and far better, I've heard, than the stock X-plane ATC and the stock Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC. VATSIM obviously is probably the best option as far as your quality, because you're going to have real people. Everyone's real on there. All your fellow pilots are real voices, real call-outs. Your ATC. The problem is if you don't have ATC coverage or there aren't pilots flying in the area you're flying, well, then it's silent. You have radio silence. And I like to fly offline so I can have the planes, real planes at these airports. I mean, you saw Austria when we took off. Lots of planes there. If we were on VATSIM, there wouldn't be that many planes unless there was an event going on. And then it'd be kind of hectic. What is this down here? Oh, okay, it's just kind of like a reservoir thing. Almost looked like a stadium or something. Middle of nowhere. Alright, we're coming up on Kempten. That's going to be our Kilo Papa Tango VOR. And then we'll start the star. We're not going to go in over Bregenz. We could do the visual. I'm going to do the ILS. I really feel like there's terrain there, and I don't have a good chart showing me. Let's see if I can find a chart for 2.8. What just clicked?
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten
Oh, they turned on the seatbelt signs because I forgot to do it on our descent. That's awesome. We're going to be turning on our landing lights. Remind me to do that. Coming close to 10,000. Yeah, there are no charts. There are no charts for a runway 28 approach. So it's like I have no idea what's going on the 28 side as far as terrain. So we're going to stick with the 10. That's what SimBrief gave us. That's what the charts, we have charts for on Navigraphs. There's no charts for runway 28. Might not be a problem, but I don't want to risk running into the side of the mountain. So we are coming up on, that's Kempten right in front of us. If you're just joining, it's your first time, or, well, obviously if you're a repeat viewer, you might, if you're a repeat viewer, you'll notice there's something wrong with my overlay. Well, there is. I don't know what happened. OBS kind of crapped out. My chat thing isn't working. Bene overlay, all my flight data isn't working. My little above up there, the dates and time and everything, that's not working. Subscriber count, all that. So that's what's going on. I didn't, streamline my overlay or just have a crappy overlay. Stuff is not working for some reason suddenly. It was working earlier in the stream. Not sure what happened. So that's what's going on. If you're a new viewer, usually my overlay looks pretty cool. We got some animated stuff going on and lots of the flight data, little progress bar, all that stuff. Your chat scrolling on the bottom when you type it in. Little thing. Alright, a little bit of a turn here. We're just below 10,000, so let's get those landing lights on, light ourselves up. I like to turn on the nose light too. I don't know if they actually do, but I like to do it. I just like to put my lights in landing mode, or in takeoff mode. Beautiful approach here. Beautiful German countryside. Bavaria. And I'm guessing St. Gallen is just in there. You can see that terrain. I don't think we could even do... I mean, I suppose we could do a visual 2.8, but we'd have to do like a tight turn right at the end to avoid that terrain. We'd have to stay over the lake and then kind of come in right at the end. Okay, yeah, we're still on the 10 approach. I was like, uh-oh, we're gonna have limitations, but we're trying to get in on 2.8 earlier. But nope, we're good. Yeah, now you can see that my drone camera tilting over. Beautiful. All these trees are from Bijan Habashi's 4-season pack. It is a pay-wear pack. I think it's $25, and he's been updating it like crazy. But beautiful summer, late spring, early summer trees, and the trees look really good. I mean, I don't know, I haven't compared them, I haven't turned it off in a while to see like, okay, what does the Microsoft Flight Simulator trees look like, but they look so beautiful that it's kind of a shame when you download like photogrammetry for like the Google photogrammetry or whatever for like a city, and it's got all those Google trees. And you're like, oh, that sucks, because these trees look so good. And so it's really nice when they do the world update and they have that, like the real buildings showing up from the data, but then these trees popping up, and it really shines when you're in the cities, because, you know, like spring, you'll have like, you know, cool cherry blossoms, depending on where you are in the world. You'll have like pink trees and purples and golds, you know, especially fall too. Like this pack really shines in city areas. A little bit in this city, kind of see like the lighter trees. And that's going to be the town of... I'm guessing it's Izny im Allgäu. I've never heard of that town before. A mouthful. Yeah, you can see that terrain. Maybe we could have snuck right through there for that visual. I don't trust the ATC on their vectors, though. They kind of sometimes ignore the fact that there is terrain that I can't just fly through. So we're going to come up here, swing back around the airport. I'm probably right in there. Right at the sort of the base of Lake Constance. Alright, we're at 7,000 feet. Next restriction is 6,000. The plane's going to continue down. We're at 250. Let's see, what's our approach here? I'm a little concerned about this approach because where the star's going.
Peoples 101 have the Airbus A320 in
It's
sight.
kind of a sharp turn there. You see that? So I don't know.
And maintain 4,000 feet. Peoples 101.
Why 4,000? I suppose we'll be below it and we can still capture it. What I want to do is what I'm probably going to do is once we get in here, I'm going to go manual or with the heading mode just to get us to have a curve into Sitor, because this is going to be kind of a weird... We're going to have a weird loop. Hey, Sean. Just in time for our approach. Here we are, you know, basically Bavaria. And we're going to be crossing Lake Constance into Switzerland. Austria's right over there. Basically everything about this line right here is Austria. And the airport is right... It's right there somewhere, right behind our little pylon, probably. Can't kind of... That's St. Gallen, I'm guessing.
Maintain 3,300 feet.
Why are you descending us so low? We don't need to get that low.
101 has the runway in sight.
5,000 feet for the capture. I don't know why.
Turn left heading 225.
Oh.
135 decimal for tree Peoples 101.
I know why they're descending us there, because
Gallen Tower Peoples 10112 miles northeast inbound.
Because the
runway 28 approach.
The ATC wants us to do a visual runway here, and basically it wants us to turn and then cut in. But I'm like, nah, we're not going to do that. We got this terrain. We could do it, but there's no charts for that approach. And you'd think if you're going to have this kind of approach, you'd have charts, because you'd want people to know, okay, what's the altitude here? That's why he wants us to get down 3,300, make a sharp left turn, because there, I believe that's the airport right there. Oh, maybe not. Where is it? Airport might be further over here. I'm not seeing it. But yeah, this is not the area where you want to be doing a visual with no charts, because yeah, it's a little some terrain. So we're just gonna stick with the ILS 10. It makes more sense with the wind anyway. Well, that's pretty interesting. Rail yard there. Alright, so we're crossing over Lake Constance, eventually we'll be crossing the border somewhere in the lake here into Switzerland. Basically right there is Austria, the border. Airport's pretty close to the border of Austria. So we are just barely in Switzerland. But we're going to take off from the airport. Next stream, There's the airport right there. So we could have done it. I mean, we could have done a visual, but I didn't like it that we didn't have any charts, and it doesn't make sense for the wind. Oh, that's cool. Sean's sister is in Geneva. Yeah, well, I might actually be flying. I think I'm toying with flying from, because right now my plan is to go from here, take a helicopter or something down to Liechtenstein, down this valley basically, and then come back and then fly from here to London, even though there is no real flight from here to London. I don't know why I decided like that. It'd make more sense to go down to Liechtenstein, then fly back up to Zurich. So, not Geneva. I believe we've flown into Geneva, though, on this world tour. But that might be a little far for going with the helicopter to get over to Zurich. But that would be more realistic, and Zurich is a really nice airport here in the sim. So I might take a small plane, and we'll just kind of try to land in a field somewhere in Liechtenstein, or maybe we'll take a plane with whatchamacallums, the floats, and we'll land on the river. We just need to land in Liechtenstein somewhere. But there is no airport. I mean, basically, this is the airport for Liechtenstein. At least on the north end. So, and we probably could get that flight in, but I don't want to be streaming. It's like I have to get to bed by 9 o'clock, and so once I finish this stream, I'll eat and relax and take care of the baby. And you know, I've been streaming since about, what, 2 o'clock? Just after 2 o'clock, so hopefully going forward we'll be able to do this a few more times on my days off. Alright, what are we doing here? Uh-oh. Oh, see, I missed it. Oh, but it already built it in there, a little loop. That's good. Already slowed down, that's good too. Uh-oh. Something's loading in. Ugh. Just follow the loop. Okay, it is. Alright. Thought it was gonna start. Good silly stuff. Oh, that's just. Oh, there we go. Got some, like. I don't know what those are. Some kind of storage containers for maybe oil or natural gas. I don't know if natural gas would be stored in those, but. Beautiful area here. Now we're over Switzerland. On the other side of the lake we have Germany, and then basically in those mountains, that's all Austria. Man, I love doing these. I love the approaches, and I mean, that's the big thing why I came over to Microsoft Flight Simulator, is just this, pulling this data from the cloud. In X-Plane, I had to download, basically I would download the areas right around the airports, the photo imagery, for the satellite imagery, and that would take hours, and you'd have to make sure for every flight that you had it, and then once you got out of the approach area or the departure area, we just kind of go to, you know, generic or, you know, far zoomed out. Here it's everywhere you go, it looks beautiful, and it just, you know, in certain parts of the world, I mean, Africa looked pretty great. I mean, it's just different terrain and different kind of building, and just Europe is just so different than the US in that term. Really fun flying over Europe. It's gonna be super fun flying over, you know, getting into the Americas and flying that, and then getting back over into the Pacific and Asia and see how that looks. I know China looks like crap right now. I don't know if they'll be able to do anything about that just because of the way China is with the satellite imagery. Beautiful approach. I told you it was going to be a beautiful approach. I'm sure there are more beautiful ones out there, but I like this. Okay, let's get inside the plane. We don't need to be so zoomed in there. Oops. Let's get inside let's get a window view. Alright, we're at 5,000 feet. that is our glide slope capture. Once we get back to Sitor here, I'm guessing Sitor is actually very close to where that glide slope is captured. Oh, we need to switch to our pressure. Yeah, you can see that the capture is right there, so I don't know if I can hit approach. And like, I always felt like in the Boeing, when I learned it, you hit the approach once you were on the final course, but you might be able to hit the approach right here and it'll take you to it. Do I risk it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's hit that approach. Yep. I like to turn on both. Cap 3 dual. And it will turn on the, make sure we turn on the ILS. Don't need that, go away. See the diamond? This is the diamond we're worried about, that 5,000 feet. We're at 4,800, so we have a little bit of give. We should be able to capture the glide slope just fine. And then this diamond will soon line up once we make this turn. It'll start sliding into view. You see the arrow? No problems. Oh, beautiful approach. Beautiful area. There's the airport. Feels like we're pretty high, but should have captured the glide slope. What happened? Why are we not capturing the glide slope? Oh no, is it because I'm at 5,000 feet? Why didn't we capture the glide slope? Oh, okay, well we're gonna go manual then. Why did we not capture the glide slope? There it is. Now it's captured. But we're way above it. What's going on? Well, see, it says it's captured the glide slope, but it's not descending. I'm gonna throw the speed brake on.
2,500.
Crap. Yeah, we're not going to be able to land. Alright, going around. We'll climb to 1,700. We're already at that. Yeah, we're just not getting, we're way too fast. Yeah, I was descending, but we were way too fast because we missed the glide slope as we were diving. Alright, I don't know what we're doing here diving. Okay, I'm trying to this missed approach here. Okay, we want to go 255. 255. Why is it? I don't feel like we're turning the wrong direction though with 255. You know what I mean? I feel like I have no control over this plane.
1,000.
Well, we were descending, Sean, but we were diving kind of because we lost it did not capture the glide slope right. It captured the glide slope, but it didn't start descending. And then it did start descending, and then we did eventually catch up with the glide slope. But we were, yeah, definitely not in a very good spot. Yeah, I'm down to 160, or I'm kind of down in this low because that's what the chart says when you're making this turn. So I'm going to try to get this approach again in here. Now we might just have to visual this whole dang thing. The problem with these go-arounds is like, well, yeah, it's the problem when it's you're the only person in here. It's like then you need someone else almost to help you set the stuff up again. All right, so what I want to do is I want to get on this 97 course. No, not 97. 277. We're gonna go like this. So we're parallel with the runway. We're a little bit off. And then... Alright, we got auto thrust. Alright. We can stay at 3,500. There's no terrain. I'm gonna go back in here. Okay, I want to do this again. Arrival, ILS 10. Sitar. Don't really need the star at this point. I do need the VIA. The Sitar. Insert. Okay, we're going to Sitar. It is in there. Okay. So now we should have no problem with our capturing the glide slope because we are below the glide slope. We'll capture it once we hit where that... Because the way the glide slope works is it's a slope, and you capture it at 5,000 feet. Well, if you capture at 35, if you're at 3,500, you'll eventually run into the slope too. Now, if you're at 6,000 feet and you're at this point you're supposed to capture it at 5,000, you're going to fly right over and never capture it. We were at 4,800. We should have captured it on that turn and had no problem, but for some reason it didn't descend. So it's very weird. So we'll try that again. We should be able to get on the ground this time. We're at 3,500 feet. We're at a good speed. I'm going to get this to... Whoops. Calm down, calm down. Why are we... Why is it speeding up so much? I want to be at this speed. I want to be at... What? I like how it decides it's just going to do whatever it wants to do. Why are we climbing? Stop climbing. I like I put auto thrust on, I put it into climb mode, and it's just like, I'm going to do whatever I want. I want to be at 3,500 feet. How hard is that to do? Plane just starts doing whatever it wants to do. I'm trying to put it into climb mode. There we go. Alright, I want to be at 100. We're at 170. It's got that loop in there. Technically, we should be on this path and then do that loop. I'm just going to turn and just kind of do a loop right into it. Okay, you see that glide slope again? And how it's going to fly above us. Not a big deal. We have plenty of time on our approach, so we missed the approach.
2,500.
I don't think I reported it to them. I'm not going to do it because they're just going to go, oh, well, you're coming in the wrong way anyway. Yes, I am. Alright, we're at 3,500 feet, 170 knots, and we're soon... I'm just going to... kind of go out here and get looped in. Yeah, so last flight we had the kind of, after we had already passed the approach for the runway they wanted us to go to, then we had to kind of double back and do a weird loop. this time we just, for some reason, the glide slope didn't capture correctly. Yeah, but Alright, once we're on the final approach path, we'll hit approach. We have plenty of time, because we're not actually going to capture it. That F110, I believe that's just 11 miles out, is what that's supposed to mean. I don't know why it says 110 like that. But that's where you're capturing at 5,000 feet, the glide slope. But we're not doing that. Where is it turning? Why are you going that way? Turn! Oh, why do you have to do the loop? Just skip the loop. Direct to... Direct. Go. Yes, there we go. It's like it wants to do the funky loop. It's like, don't do the loop because then we come in weird. We could have done it. I don't know. Whatever. Alright, cool. Cool, Hendrik. Yeah, hopefully we'll... I'm not very good at consistency on Discord, but I do make some announcements from time to time. I threw some stuff up there when... it's the easiest way if I, like, let's say I can't stream or it's been a while since I've streamed. I need to get better at announcing when I'm missing a stream that I have scheduled. Obviously, you guys on YouTube, you can see scheduled streams. Twitch, I do schedule the streams, but I'm terrible with the schedule right now, and hopefully, eventually, maybe someday, I'll become consistent. I feel like I was pretty consistent when I was working nights, and it's just been, like I said, it's been a hectic kind of month here, and I think for the next few months, my wife is really wants to look at houses and stuff, and what are we doing? Oh, okay. My wife's looking at houses, and we had one we really liked, and it was just at the kind of the upper bounds of our what we can do, money-wise. And so, we probably, I don't know how much we missed out on it by, but we didn't get it. It had an awesome bathroom. It's just an awesome house, and awesome upstairs bathroom thing. It sucks. And that's just the way the market is now. It's just you're competing against. It's like you have the houses are already just overpriced, just ridiculously priced for what they are. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to put in asking. It's like asking is not enough. The asking price isn't enough. You're not going to get it. And it's like you're already at the upper bounds. And it's like, and this is for a nice, decent, small family home, Nothing huge, nothing crazy. It's like my budget, 3 years ago, that same house would be like 125, 150,000. Now you look at a 150,000 house, it's a burned out shell. So it's like, no, that's a little stressful. Alright, hit the approach. You can see the diamonds up there, so we're fine. We're not too late. And we're on the localizer. We captured the localizer. That's our left to right. That's our just being online. Let's drop the land. We're a little high for landing here, actually, but we'll drop it anyway. And our approach speed... I'm not on the right page. I never noticed those sounds before. 134 knots for the approach speed. Start deploying those flaps.
don't sink, 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 don't sink.
Retard. Retard.
Yeah, that brake fan is on because we were hitting the brakes hard.
The local time
That was a short runway. Another one of these runways I didn't
and it's
plan
currently
on.
about 29
Size.
degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign
Wait,
is
can I use
turned
this?
off.
Can I use that
Remember to use
taxiway?
caution when opening the overhead bin as items may have shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
I feel like that taxiway is too small. Oh yeah, it's too small of a taxiway, I think. Yeah, we might have to fly from Liechtenstein up to Zurich. We shouldn't be here. It's gonna be hard for us to take off. Even though I did do a takeoff from a pretty short runway. I'm trying to think where that was. Turn. Got a little bit of wind. Yeah, but I went full reversers. I was hard on the brakes. You can see the brake fans on right there. Hot. Yeah, definitely hot. Let's see, how long is that runway? 1,455 meters. That is a short runway. I didn't realize it was that short. You see how good my planning is. I've had a few of these where we've come in and like, yeah, shouldn't have come to this airport. But we survived.
St. Gallen Tower Peoples 101 would like to cancel IFR.
Of course, I'm on the ground, you would think.
St. Gallen Tower Peoples 101 cancel landing intention. St. Gallen Ground Peoples 101 taxi to parking. Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Sierra Charlie Peoples 101.
I was gonna hear. I feel like this is where the bump was in there. There's kind of a little bump in the runway. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I kind of hopped that landing a little bit, hit, and then I kind of skip back into the air. I think this is a freeware mod for the airport. So it's a really nice airport. I don't think we're flying the right size airplane into it though. That Alpha Sierra Charlie. I mean, this flight does come here, but it's in an Embraer, so it's like a more business oriented. Yeah, I feel like we're a little bit of a big plane. Alright, parking brake is set. Turn off our landing lights. Taxi lights. Strobe auto. Beacon. Put beacon on for now. Do have APU available. So we'll go engine 1 and 2 off. Alright, and the engine now. It's working on it. Go in here and we'll debark the passengers, even though we don't really have any stairs or anything. Yeah, a little bit big plane to be landing here, but we survived, didn't crash. I did hop the landing. Let's get into Valanta and just check out how hard that landing was. I didn't see any of this weather when we were coming in. Second person to arrive here today. You can see our little loop around. And landing rate, not that great. 482. So both my landings today, not ideal, but it's been a while since I've flown. Hour and 9 minutes, so 2 short flights today. About the same fuel burn. GeForce is a little bit higher here. Landing speed, yeah, way faster than we should have been. I don't know why that happened. But, yeah. Alright, so thanks for coming along. Next flight we'll be hopping into either a helicopter or small plane. I'm guessing we'll probably switch it to a small plane so we can fly from here, and then we'll go down to Liechtenstein, land somewhere, and then we'll fly up from there to Zurich, because Zurich will be a much better airport to take off in an A320 than here. Here, we'd have to be full power and pulling back as soon as possible, which I did do. I can't remember where. But somewhere on this, I think. Probably up in Norway somewhere. One of those flights way up north. So thanks for coming along. Yeah, my overlays all died and got weird here. But I should be able to stream, you know, it might be Wednesday night or sometime Thursday during the day this week. And just keep an eye out Might jump on after work sometime this week, but still working on a schedule, trying to figure out the sleep pattern, and obviously a lot of stuff going on with the baby and house hunting. So until next time, take care.